Well, hi there, everybody.
Yo.
Oh, we have an interesting night ahead for us this evening with Bobbit going crazy already. Showing up them bobs for us. As you saw by the thumbnail, This Week in Wrestling is a special edition of Evolution for you tonight with our picks and our previews. So, with that being said, we have a few special guests with us this evening. Of course, first and foremost, seeing for the first time on camera, Miss Ronnie.
Hi, everybody.
And of course, as always, we have the very knowledgeable Miss Gina J.
What's going on, guys?
Oh, the echo.
I have an echo too. Hold on one second. I'll try to fix it.
And we have Bobbit sitting here next to us on camera.
What's up, my bitches?
Hello.
And you heard JP over there in the corner.
Fucking shit!
Yo!
Then Johnny's somewhere around here, up in this bitch.
Yes, he's hiding in the background doing the main technical work for us this evening.
He's actually doing something for once. I'm just kidding. I love you, Johnny. Thanks for doing this, man. Much appreciated.
Yes, there's been quite a bit of drama with my computer not functioning properly, but so far, doing a stress test with using Skype while we're doing this stream through Johnny's computer, it seems to be working again. Fingers crossed for us, folks. Fingers crossed for us.
And you can fuck off, JP.
Okay, so of course there's been a lot of rumblings throughout the rumor sheets about the biggest news of the week thus far, and that is Alexa Bliss being removed from Evolution because of concussion protocol. Some of us have seen the video of it, and in my opinion, I'll go round table here. I'm going to start with my opinion. It was Alexa's own fault. It had nothing to do with Ronda. Because Ronda did nothing, she completely did nothing different from what she has done from the start with those arm drags. Alexa Bliss just took the lazy way out and just decided to flop over instead of actually jumping a bit over.
I'm not gonna. Is this on YouTube?
It should be.
Okay. Alexa, does anybody know what the name of the video is? Alexa Bliss botch.
Probably
find fucking 3,000 fucking.
But that's my opinion. Gina, what about yours?
I actually agree. She obviously didn't jump high enough, and she came down right on top of her head. So I really don't see how that falls back on Ronda.
I've seen a lot of rumblings. You know, one tweet in particular was, I've said from the beginning that this bitch is dangerous. Honey, no.
Yeah, no, I mean, she trained for over 3 years down in NXT. She knows what she's doing. Alexa Bliss has not only gotten injured herself enough, but she's injured other people. So, I don't know.
It's when it comes right down to it, it's, again, the whole situation of Sasha Banks, Seth Rollins, more recently, Brie Bella.
Oh, God.
So it's just, it all stumbles into that one little package. You know, wrestling is dangerous. If you're not going to actually do the work and properly train, you're going to get hurt.
Exactly.
And Ronnie, what's your opinion on this matter?
I agree with you both as well. And even with her work ethic, it just seems that she's out of the ring more than she's even in the ring. So you kind of lose that training process and practice process and move sets because you're not doing them as frequent because you're either injured or you're out just on the side watching everybody else.
Yeah. And I mean, I like I said earlier when we were in Skype, I think that she has more of a diva mentality. She would have been huge about 10 years ago. And I mean, she is huge now. But she just doesn't have the work ethic, in my opinion, to compete in this women's division.
I mean, her entire career, the biggest bump I've ever seen her take was the garbage pail hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the biggest bump I've ever seen this woman take, even down in NXT. And
Yeah, I mean,
she knows how to do the backstage politics of, well, you know, I really don't want to do that because I really don't want to injure myself.
Well, she had a problem with the kendo on a pole stick match, which we all did, but she didn't even want to get hit by a kendo stick.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why Bayley looked like a freaking dipshit in that match.
Yeah, well, Bayley got her ass kicked. Like, if there's one thing that anybody can say about Bayley, she is a fucking worker. She's a workhorse down in NXT. Up on the main roster, she'll do pretty much whatever they want her to do.
But WWE ruined her on the main roster.
Yeah.
Especially with the whole fucking flip-flopping of, are they best friends? Are they not best friends now? Thing with Sasha. It's ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah.
Bobbit, what's your take on the whole Alexa Bliss issue?
It was. I don't know. I'm not really that much of an Alexa Bliss fan, but I do hope she gets better. And it was a scary spot. And yeah, who replaced her, I'm not a big fan of either. So yay.
You want my opinion? I hope she has to fucking retire.
Oh my God.
I cannot stand Alexa Bliss. She deserves everything she's getting right now. This is what happens when, like everybody's saying, you don't want to do the work. I hope she has to fucking retire because of this shit. Ha ha ha. Learned lesson.
Well, hold on to that ha 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 there, because you know what, the laugh is still on us, because her replacement for Evolution is Alicia Fox.
Ha ha ha. That match is going to last 2 minutes. And
Shoot me.
Yeah. So we went from basically on the coals to in the fire.
I will say this, Alicia Fox is a better worker than her.
She is a better worker, however, you still have to deal with the fucking craziness of her. I own this ring. This is my ring.
Just mute her ass.
Fucking Christ.
Just mute the fucking. Just mute it.
Well, I'll be like, what is she saying? Because we're muted.
Again, we go from being on hot coals to being in a fire with this.
Yeah, the match itself, I would have much rather have seen, like, I don't know, anything else. Yeah.
I agree.
Well, it originally started out, it was just supposed to be Alexa and Trish. And then...
Actually,
I think that was... Go ahead, Heather. It's your show. I'm sorry.
There was actually a bigger rumor that Sasha had actually been the one to try and campaign for herself to be against Trish Stratus.
I would have much rather.
Which I would have rather seen that.
Absolutely.
Storyline. I'm sorry?
I would have rather seen Alundra Blaze versus Trish Stratus than having this tag team match.
Right. Storyline wise, I think that Trish versus Alexa made sense just because, like, Alexa, you know, she's that whole, like, I'm the women's blah, 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 you know, even though she's not. But the actual women's division versus the Divas division, I think that they should have concentrated that more on Ronda Rousey and Nikki Bella, you know, because that right there is legitimately the women's division versus the Divas division. They didn't need to do this on SmackDown on another one on Raw.
Right.
Well, you still have the problem of there's 3 divas with 1 women's wrestler in there. Oh wait, I'm sorry, no. That whole match is all divas because Alicia Fox started out as Edge and Vicky Guerrero's wedding planner.
Yeah.
Which that was during the Ruthless Aggression era. They were still divas back then.
Yep.
So that's a match of 4 divas.
Oh God, why?
I mean, we're not even getting with that match. It's not even past and present anymore. So it's like, okay, why not? Why have this match at all?
Right.
Because they have to get Trish and Lita up there. You know, they gotta have them be seen.
Fucking have that.
Throw them in the battle royale.
Throw them in a fucking
right.
match. Have them do a 1-on-1.
Or yeah, had them relive their rivalry.
I mean, that's what they built their if you listen to Trish and Lita when they talked, Trish and Lita were like, "You made me who I was." And they could have easily said, well, Alexa's not going to be able to go, so you know what? We're going to do this. It's going to be Trish versus we're going to give you the surprise match of the night. Trish versus Lita. We're transitioning from the Diva. This is the actual start of the women's revolution right here. Trish versus Lita.
Yeah.
You could have made it a triple threat too, and just threw Mickie James in there because she had.
Yeah, where do you go? I mean, you're down.
And those were three women. Those were three women that damn near killed each other in the ring every fucking night they got in the ring.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but like I know that Trish and Lita at the end of their careers they were in the Diva era, but when they first initially started, it was called the Women's Championship back then, wasn't it? Because the Divas Championship didn't get brought in until like the mid 2000s or so.
Yes, yeah. Vicky Guerrero is the one who brought in the Divas Championship belt
because of the brand split.
Yep.
I think that's why they did it. No, I'm wrong. They got rid of the women's title, brought in the Divas Championship, and then the brand split happened, and then we need, since we're doing two champions, one's going to be the women's champion, one's going to be the Divas champion.
Yeah, so if anything, you could almost market it as a Divas versus women's match on Sunday just because, like, Lita and Trish were actually women's champions.
Yep.
It just so happened that they were kind of the Divas era because they were women's championship, but they still weren't considered superstars.
Yeah, because, you know, WWE is like 20 years behind the times.
Of course.
Yep.
Well, actually, if we really want to take into effect, they're probably about, 50, 60 years, considering the women's movement started in the 1920s. So, well, that's like 80 years. I don't know. I can't do my math. Whatever. Okay.
But with that being said, that match is going to be a bit of a clusterfuck, I think. And I think with how things went last Monday, I think that WWE is finally trying to turn a corner here. And I think with that match, they might just have Alicia Fox and Mickie James go over. What about you guys?
I think they give it to Trish and Lita.
They ain't going to be Trish and Lita.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying, Heather, and I can see how it would be beneficial to turning that corner, but I still think they're going to go with Trish and Lita because they're not going to give up two Hall of Famers, and I don't think so.
I think it's Alicia Fox.
Right?
Well, Mickie James is also a future Hall of Famer.
I understand that. I mean, I could see them putting them in a triple threat and Mickie James winning, but I just don't. With Alicia Fox in there, I just don't see that happening.
If anything, I see Alexa Bliss coming down to ringside, and her being not a factor in the match, but I could possibly see Mickie turning on Alicia and Alexa, causing, either Trish and Lita to be disqualified or them to win. It can go either way.
Okay. Interesting.
It's an interesting take on that. Bobby, what about you?
Bobby!
First of all.
All right.
I was going to say, everybody was first.
I'm the mute button. I'm going to go with the panel so far. I'm going Trish and Lita. I would like to see Mickie and what's her face win it, but anytime you bring in the people of the past, they usually let them go over. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
When we talk about six women tag matches, actually probably going to be the first match.
Well, I went into that
since
match.
you started talking, so that's fine. Go ahead.
First match they have listed for the card here is the 6-woman tag with Sasha, Bayley, and Natalya versus the Riott Squad.
Didn't you bring something up to that effect? I'm sorry. Didn't you bring something up on the call we were on, I think Wednesday, Gina, about this match?
Yes. Rumor has it, now nothing's been established, but rumor has it that this match could possibly turn into a tag team match if Natalya finds a partner. And like, I don't think that either Natalya's going to find a partner, either that or Natalya and Ruby Riott are going to drop out. But there's been rumor that they're introducing tag team belts apparently for the women's division, so that there's rumor that this match could turn into a tag team title match.
God, I hope not.
I hope not either. Yes, it would be a big step for the women because there hasn't been women's tag team titles since Wendy Rickard days.
Yeah.
So you're talking late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
And you know,
one thing.
Yeah, go ahead, Bobby.
One thing.
I've been calling this for months.
That just because Gina said something, I keep telling you this, Bob.
It is just rumor and innuendo right now.
And innuendo.
I do believe that they're gonna bring the tag belts. I just don't know. I think it's gonna happen at this pay-per-view. I don't know if it's gonna happen during that match though.
Yeah,
right.
I don't. Here's my take, and I'm gonna shut up after this because if they do this, they are so fucking dumb because they didn't. There's no marketing for it. Where's the marketing for it? Did they poll people? What did they? Or did they just think they don't have to? I know it's WWE, but come on.
There was a poll on WWE asking if people would like to see the women's championship also have a tag team.
And fucking casual fans are like, oh yeah, let's fucking do that.
Actually, the no votes were the ones that won.
Actually, if you think about it, it kind of makes sense if they're gonna get rid of the brand split.
Yeah.
If they gotta get rid of the brand split first, though.
Yeah.
Which is why I see her point in them maybe announcing them.
But that's not until 2019.
But like I said, you also have to build up the tag team division to begin with.
I understand that.
Yeah, and they're already doing it.
Yeah, so then I can understand them just announcing the tag titles. They're saying we're going to have a tag team division for the women. Titles and all of that to be revealed in 2019.
Oh, let's get real. It's going to be the first ever women's tag team championships.
And that's exactly what they're going to say.
They are.
And the logic gap is going to be, well, didn't they used to have tag team championships?
Not everybody is actually going to remember that.
I understand that. Casuals are going to be like, I'm so excited. This is the first time ever. The fuck it is. I got into an argument with a casual on Twitter about it. About, what was it? The first ever fucking Battle Royal, Women's Battle Royal. No, they did want it at WrestleMania because Santina Morella won it.
Yep.
Yeah, and this also isn't the first ever women's pay-per-view. It's the first ever for WWE. Yeah.
Yes.
But TNA or Impact, both of them are the same thing. But they had one like 5 years ago.
Night of the Knockouts or something like that.
Something like that.
So then you're going to have the first ever tag team tournament, and then you've got some pairings, like you said. You've got Iconics, and if the Bellas stick around, but then everybody else is just going to be mix and match.
Well, if you think about it, they have Sasha and Bayley. Asuka and Naomi have been tagging together a lot lately. Who else was it? There was another one on Raw.
On Raw? Oh, God.
Well,
Right.
I got Gina back. I saw that. So I'm sure they'll probably pair her with Nia.
That's who it was. Nia and Tamina, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Or no, I'm sorry. Nia and Ember Moon. That's who I'm thinking of.
I think they're going to start a feud.
I think there might be some heat building between Nia and Ember.
I really hope so.
They got to do something with Ember. I mean, they brought her up, gave her all this hype, and then just like, okay, now go, shoot.
Well, you know what?
In the corner.
What I really want to see is I want to see Tamina and Nia in a feud, because like those two, Tamina's really the only one right now that I can actually believe can actually beat Nia.
Yeah, absolutely. The rest of the girls are too small.
I think Ronda Rousey could beat her for real.
Yeah, with an armbar, but you know.
I don't know. Ember Moon's good enough to where she could beat her, I think.
Yeah, Ember's creative. I would like that.
Yeah, and they've been planting the seed with that too. I mean, they had them tagging, and then they had where they were tossing each other out of the ring, and then they had them in the singles. So you know something's coming about with that.
Yeah,
I mean, Ember Moon's finisher is very protected.
Yeah.
And that finisher is legit. So it could, you know.
Is it just me? I'm sorry?
No, it's just me. Go ahead, Gina. I'm sorry.
Is it just me, or have we been seeing like a lot of the women doing the crossface lately?
The crossface? I've not been noticing.
Because you haven't been paying attention to the matches. That's why I've seen quite a few. I've seen quite a few of them using it. I think it's because it's a safer submission.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to read into it though. If there's anything to read into it.
I don't think that it's necessarily anything to read into it, but I thought that they've been using the crossface, but there's been a lot of different positionings of the body to where they're kind of manipulating the crossface, which I think is really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're definitely showing improvements in actual in-ring technique. A lot of them are actually proving that they want to do this for their lives.
Yeah.
So it's the other ones that Alexa Bliss, Sarah Logan, quite a few others that just refuse to actually step up and do the fucking work. Sarah Logan is the worst one of them all because she's been wrestling for 10 fucking years and she still can't do it.
Yeah, I honestly don't know how. Well, I know how she got called up because she was Riott Squad, but I don't understand how she got called up before a lot of those other ladies in NXT.
Yeah, and the whole, you know what the logic behind that was? They weren't using her, so just bring her up because then she will actually be used. It's like, well, fucking bring somebody up that's actually good and then fucking start fucking using her. If she's not fucking cutting it, fucking cut her. Get rid of her.
See, I think Nikki Cross would have been a great fit with Riott Squad.
Oh, God, yeah.
She could have been the leader, in my opinion.
But I really hope that they pair her with Aleister now.
I kind of do, too.
Look at Dana Brooke. They brought her up, and they ended up throwing her to Titus and Apollo, and now that's supposedly dissolved. So what are they going to do with her?
I mean, with Dana Brooke, she has promise. If they would let her do what she is good at, I think she'd be fine. But they won't let her do what she can do. So that's where they failed with Dana Brooke. Which
she reminds me of an old, like not old, but she reminds me of a woman's wrestler from the Divas division with all the like gymnastics and stuff, but I can't think of who it is.
Gillian Hall?
Maybe.
No, you're talking about the backspring elbow?
Yeah.
There was somebody who did it before that, actually.
I remember somebody doing it, and
it was China.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, because I've been thinking about that for weeks, and I was like, who the fuck is it?
It also looks like Dana Brooke has lost some weight, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was having a weight issue, I think. But I think she got that under control. So, have you guys picked who's going to win this 6-man tag team match?
It's a clusterfuck.
I'm going to go Riott Squad.
That's who I'm going with, Riott Squad.
You had it right the first time. Riott Squirt. That works.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Riott Squad also because it's just, they got to start building something for them.
I'm going with WWE logic here. Who won on fucking Monday?
Riott Squad.
Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Natalya are going to win.
Bobbitt, what about you?
Sasha, Bayley, Natalya.
Okay.
Oh. The next match is the Women's Battle Royal. Just pick a wrestler. I mean, this is a Battle Royal, so I think my question is it going to be like the Greatest Royal Rumble, or is it going to be a actual Battle Royal?
Where they're all in the ring already.
The winner gets a future title shot.
So we know right there it's not going to be a Hall of Famer like Alundra Blaze or Ivory.
Yeah, but let's face it. I mean, WWE's not very good at living up to their word on getting a future match, because otherwise Naomi would have had a match already.
That's true.
Her and her ovary trophy.
Well, if you think about it, though, when did Cesaro get his title shot? He's never gotten one.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing. I don't know. I'm picking Asuka. I think Asuka's going to win it.
Yeah, I'm going to jump on the Bobbitt train and go with Asuka on this one. They need to rebuild her back up, and this may be the way to do it.
They do.
They need to turn her heel.
They do.
I'm trying to think of all the women that could possibly be in it.
Everybody that's not wrestling on a singles or in a tag team match. So just any woman out there. There's, they might actually throw, well, no, because that'd be, Ember Moon's not in it.
Carmella's in it.
Carmella's in it.
God, no.
I know. Trust me, I know.
The Iconics are in it.
Oh, God, no.
There might be some NXT women in it.
I didn't see any of them listed. I was surprised, because I thought for sure Nikki Cross would have been in it.
Oh, absolutely.
She might be. I mean, they said they're advertising. They keep advertising at least 50 women. So I figured it out. There's 16 women in actual matches. You know, not in the Battle Royal. So that leaves 34 women. Unless they add a match or two to be in the Battle Royal.
Now, I do see that Ember Moon was added October 15th to that.
Right. See, yep, she's in it.
I could see Ember winning, and that being the reason, like, that breaks her and Nia.
Tamina's in it also.
Tamina, yep, Tamina.
Alicia Fox is in it.
Alicia Fox. Well, that's because Alexa, that it was just not so. They're probably taking her out of it and adding probably like a Nikki Cross. Because if you noticed the day that they announced that Evolution was taking place, Nikki Cross was on the stage. So I think she's going to be in it.
I really hope that she wins it.
I don't see her. I mean, I don't see her winning it though.
But,
she's got a storyline in NXT right now that they're
with Bianca.
But if you remember correctly, well, first of all, they're taking the storyline differently, because if you guys seen NXT on Wednesday night, Bianca's demanding a title match.
Yeah,
she can shut the fuck up.
But if you also remember back like 2015 when NXT was first like really took off, they had superstars that were on the main roster but still wrestling in NXT as well. So they could do that, you know, like have her wrestle both until a certain date.
Could be.
Because from what I hear, I'm sorry?
No, go ahead. You were talking first.
I was just gonna say, from what I hear, as far as like Alistair, he's been traveling with the main roster, doing house shows, and I think Nikki Cross has as well. So I could see both of them getting called up after, of course, Alistair after this whole Johnny Gargano feud. But
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's to be like right after Survivor Series. They're both coming up.
Royal Rumble. I am really hoping he wins the Royal Rumble.
I have a theory for that. And I told you that Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and from what I see here, looking on Wikipedia, it's a good reason that there's not that many SmackDown matches, and that's because there are 9 SmackDown women as part of this Battle Royale, and only 6 Raw women.
And
the list of
Hall of Famers and probably NXT superstars, right?
Yes.
I did see Kanellis.
Yes. Here's the list of participants that are active roster. You got Tamina, Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, Ember Moon, Alicia Fox, which we know is getting replaced, or she's going to pull double duty, so it'll be a quick match. Nia Jax, Dana Brooke, Asuka, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Carmella, Lana, Naomi, Maria Kanellis, and Zelina Vega.
Ooh, Zelina Vega would be a good one to win.
I could see her, because she's the tiny package of dynamite. I could see her hiding out in the corner.
Again, I hope not.
Well, the other one we didn't mention either is Brie.
Ugh.
She's not even in a match.
She's not here, so she might be the one replacing Alicia Fox.
That's true. See? I go ahead. Sorry, Gina.
That's okay. I heard Kelly's coming back. Maria Kanellis. I thought Beth Phoenix was supposed to be coming back, but apparently she's announcing.
Yeah, she's on the announcing crew. The Hall of Famers or past talent coming back for the Battle Royale are Tori Wilson, Michelle McCool, Alundra Blaze, Ivory, Callie Kelly, and Molly Holly.
Oh God, I really don't have any kind of inkling to see Michelle McCool again. I know she's sick, or she was sick, but she's so tiny.
And her performance in the Royal Rumble was not exactly the best.
No, I just wanted to throw her a sandwich.
Robotic, that's for sure.
Wanted to throw her a sandwich, maybe take her out to a 5-star meal. Sorry.
Okay.
But
I'm an asshole. She was sick.
But who have you picked yet, Gina?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with either Selena Vega or Nikki Cross. Mm-hmm.
If that's who they're replacing Alicia Fox with.
Yeah.
Bobby, what about you?
That's just
Team Japan, baby. I'm going Asuka.
As we get on through the matches, you'll understand more in the audience there what he means by Team Japan.
The tag team match. You already talked about that. I'm not going to go over that again. You all picked. Oh, did you guys pick? Oh, yeah, everybody picked Trish and Lita, I think.
Pretty much, yeah.
The Mae Young Finals match. Io Shirai versus Toni Storm.
This should be a very interesting match here, folks, because you got two very, very talented women.
Oh my God, did you guys see the Toni Storm versus Mako match the other night?
I did not.
Oh, watch it. It's insane.
That's
you can
the
actually
first match I watched with her. And oh my gosh, that was exactly like you said. It was an insane match.
Yeah, Ronnie, it might have been who I was talking to about this. Like, you could actually see the bruising.
The what?
No, I don't remember talking with you about it, but
okay,
I mean,
it must have been somebody else. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, just the intensity of that match.
You can actually see the bruising like already developing during the match from the hits.
Those are two women that have spent many long careers outside of the WWE.
Yeah, it's
had no problem going up against the men.
Right.
So, I mean, I think Mayuki was even in a faction with Suzuki.
Yes.
Oh, then you know she can take a punch.
Oh,
well, not that he hits women, but you know what I mean.
Io Shirai was in a faction with Asuka and her sister. So, and they fought men. So, just keep that in mind.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going with Io Shirai. I love Toni Storm, but Io Shirai is the better wrestler here. They should go with whoever the better wrestler is, in my opinion. Not that I don't think Toni Storm is good. I think Io Shirai is a little better. That's who I'm going with.
I see Io Shirai taking the win for this also.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they have Toni Storm win.
Ronnie, what about you?
Yeah, I'm going with Toni Storm. I just know with how Asuka was brought up and she's not been utilized, and then of course she got Kairi. She's being utilized in NXT, but they've just been. It just seems like most of the publicity in that is this Toni Storm and her rise to the top, and they just seem to be pushing her a lot more.
Now, I will say this. just to kind of debate that with you, Ronnie.
Okay.
They kind of did that with Shayna Baszler, too. They really didn't push Kairi Sane as hard as they pushed Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you might be right. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Toni Storm wins. But Io Shirai, have you ever seen her wrestle? Well, I'm sure you have.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as frequent. And like I said, Toni Storm, the first time I saw her was the other night when she had that match. And it's just, I mean, I could see where all the hype was coming from, where they kept saying she's going to be the next big thing in NXT. She's going to be the next big thing on the roster. And just her overall performance in that match.
Well, she's not going to be on NXT. She's going to be on NXT UK.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's they're going to make her the next big thing on NXT UK.
Okay.
Gina, what about you?
I can definitely see what Ronnie is saying there. I'm gonna go with Io Shirai, just because I think that they're gonna push Toni Storm for the UK Women's Championship.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This is a hard one, but I'm gonna go Io.
They're gonna make both of them look really strong.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you that much right now, because they're both gonna be pushed to their respective divisions. Because Shirai's gonna be in NXT, and they're gonna push her, and they're gonna have a feud between her and Kairi Sane, and they have wrestled against each other before, and oh my God, you guys are in for a real treat when that happens. If you haven't seen it, I'm sure there's YouTube videos out there of them two going at it. So go check them out.
And compared to the card that's already booked right now with the main roster, I think these two are just going to push it to the limit, and it's going to be probably match of the night.
They probably are going to be the ones to steal the show.
Yep, I will agree 100%. But I mean, usually when you have any type, I mean, look at the NXT takeovers, for instance. They always steal the weekend. NXT's always bringing it.
Yeah, well, I can debate that too. But...
Oh, you shush over there.
He's Mr. Grumpy Pants when it comes. So yeah, and of course we know Bob is Team Japan, so he's IO.
Is that right? You're going with the Io Shirai?
I'm good. I'm going with Io.
So anyway,
Team Japan.
Next match, and this is weird. Rhea Ripley versus To Be Determined. So I've heard that this match is not taking place, but it's on the card, but they don't know who it's going to be yet. It might be a surprise.
Maybe they may work it as something as like an open challenge.
I'm thinking Dakota Kai, because she's been working on NXT UK.
Mm-hmm.
If some of you didn't know. So, Rhea Ripley, champion, by the way.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I thought for sure, like I had heard rumors that it was going to be Toni Storm going for the UK championship, but now she's in the Mae Young finals, so I don't know.
We'll just all go with Ripley by default.
Right?
I think the original plan was to have Toni Storm go for that and have her be knocked out of the Mae Young Classic sooner, but then Tegan Nox ended up breaking her leg.
Yeah.
So I think that had to change your formula.
Yeah, because I think it was going to be Io Shirai versus Tegan Nox in the final.
Oh my God, when she broke her leg.
Oh yeah.
Banana.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw the pictures. Just like, oh no. The only thing that rivaled that was Sid Vicious.
I was getting ready to say that. Yeah.
Well, did you guys see? Not to change subject real quick, but did you see Joey Janela when he freaking buckled his leg?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Oh.
Yeah.
That he broke his knee in like 3 different places, tore his ACL and his MCL.
Yep. He was in a sock in the wind. Just like, oh God.
That happened to me. That's how I hurt my knee in football.
Oh,
I did
man.
exactly what he did.
Yikes.
So
yeah.
I mean, it's kind of hard to pick whoever the opponent is. I've never seen Rhea Ripley wrestle.
Oh, I don't like her.
You don't like her? I think I'm gonna predict who the TBD is, which is to be determined. I'm gonna predict it's Dakota Kai, and I'm gonna predict she beats her. And then they're gonna have Toni Storm and
Dakota Kai
in a feud. Because believe it or not, Toni Storm is actually a heel. She is a heel.
I can see that working.
Because Dakota Kai is a babyface through and through. She's a baby.
She wears pigtails.
Do what?
She wears pigtails.
Right. So that's my prediction, and I think it's going to be Dakota Kai. But that's just a bold prediction on my end.
It's a bold one, but it makes sense.
It does.
Okay. Sure, your call.
I'm going to go with the Dakota Kai as well. Because it fits. I mean, I'm not that familiar with the NXT UK roster for the women, but it fits. So I'm going to go with that. What about you, Gina?
I'm actually going to go with that too, because I have no idea who the hell they have over there. So it fits. It works.
And Ronnie, you going to stick with your Rhea Ripley by default?
Yeah, I'll stick with that.
Okay.
Because she might not wrestle anybody. She'll wrestle vacant.
she'll just come out there and be like, "Rawr," like she usually does, and turn around and walk out.
I think the mystery opponent's going to be Hulk Hogan in a wig. No, I'm kidding.
Shut up. No.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. I'm a chick, dude. But no, I'm going with Dakota Kai, and Dakota Kai's winning the belt.
Okay.
The next match. Has everybody gotten their pick in? Okay. And if I remember correctly, if I did it right.
Yes.
Okay, the next match. The NXT Women's title. Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler.
Oh boy. This has been a feud that started in last year's Mae Young Classic.
Yes.
It's been going on a while.
It would be so much better of a build if they had Kairi do more than just sit there and say, I can beat her.
Well,
I know I can beat her.
That's the
I
whole
beat you.
That's the whole storyline, though.
The storyline works in a way because then you see the frustration of Shayna Baszler who's coming out with these like paragraphs of things of, well, give blah blah blah, and then I beat you.
Well, if you remember, she beat her because Shayna Baszler, in all reality, beat herself.
Yep.
I think what Kairi Sane is saying is that she can straight up beat her. Well, she straight up beat her at the Mae Young Classic.
Right.
Well, at the Mae Young Class, they even had that in the storyline because Shayna Baszler said she didn't beat me. I beat myself. Like, I messed up. That was my mistake.
Mm-hmm.
But then Kairi, I can never fucking pronounce her name. Kairi, she beat her at last takeover, so now she can say, I beat you twice. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
But yeah, I think Kairi's gonna retain.
I hope so.
I think they're done having Shayna with the title, and I think they're gonna call her up so this way they get room for Marina Shifner and Jessamine Duke to take their place in NXT. And as we know from certain rumors, they've already debuted for a live show for NXT. So hopefully that means they'll be debuting.
I showed you the picture.
They'll be debuting very soon on TV for NXT and get that started. Because, all these rumors, WrestleMania is not that far away, folks.
Right.
So if they want to do this 4 horsewoman thing, they need to get them in the ring and moving.
Yeah.
Especially now that Marina Shifner's arm is healed.
Yeah. I hate Shayna Baszler. I think she's god awful. She talks like a robot. She's a walking botch, in my opinion. Shayna Baszler or Kairi Sane is way ahead of Shayna Baszler as far as ring. I'm going with Kairi Sane.
And Bobbit, we know, is Kairi Sane. Wifey number 2.
3. Team of Japan all the way.
So now that you got that hint there, folks. Ronnie, how about you?
Oh, she froze.
Oh, I think we lost Ronnie there. Gina, how about you?
I'm gonna go with Sane.
It seems like the most logical choice because, again, if you want to start pushing this 4 horsewomen shit, you gotta get them in the ring.
I think it's gonna be Sane, and then she's gonna lose it. JP, I'm sorry, but she's gonna lose it to Bianca Belair, and then I think that as soon as the 3 horsewomen are in NXT, they're gonna start just destroying everything, and they're gonna build it up to where those 3 are gonna get called up together to meet with Ronda, and they're gonna become like a little stable.
Oh, we got the 4th woman on the panel here finally. How you doing, Shrek?
Good. I thought Wendy was the 4th woman.
You're late, asshole.
Oh, Johnny's
Ronnie,
just
smack-
like Johnny's
Ronnie,
just like chiming in. I'm sorry.
Johnny around for me, please.
Oh my god. I love how he just chimes in like, you fucking asshole.
Be true, get him.
Tonight.
Oh my god.
So,
We'll get Ronnie when she comes back. She froze. I'm gonna DM her real quick and tell her to shut down her computer and start back up.
well, her Skype anyway. The next match we have on the card is the SmackDown Women's title, which is Charlotte versus Becky, which I think most of us are in agreement because of the stories of Becky's injury to her jaw that she is going to be losing the title because of her jaw injury so she could take the time to heal. Now the question is going to be, do they put her back, do they give her the chance to get the title back after her injury is healed? Or, given how the fans reacted to this current storyline, do they not give her the title back ever again? What's your thoughts on that, Gina?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think I so badly want to say Becky wins this match, but of course with her jaw, we all know that she's suffering. So I think Charlotte's gonna win. As far as her ever getting the title back, I could definitely see her after she's all healed up coming back as that heel character again, if you want to call her a heel.
Nope.
I'm gonna say as a Stone Cold type character, as a Stone Cold type heel. I could see her coming back. I don't know if they're gonna put the title back on her though. I think they should, but I don't know if they will.
I'm gonna agree. With that's probably the most logical thing I've heard anybody say about Becky Lynch in a long time, besides me. I'll tell you, my thinking on it was if they were gonna have, I don't know who it was that said it, root for who you want to root for, cheer or boo who you want to boo for.
Oh, that was JD from New York trying to quote Jesse the Road Dogg James.
Okay, so my thing is, I understand why people are cheering Becky because she had to fight, claw, scratch, and all that stuff, get back on top. But my thing is, why are the fans blaming Charlotte for her getting put in the match? That in itself makes no sense.
They should be blaming Paige.
Paige. That being said, the thing is that I understand, and anybody, does a heel not acknowledge fans? Does a babyface acknowledge fans?
All the time.
All the time. Does a heel?
No.
No.
So who's the heel in this feud and who's the face? Becky is the heel, Charlotte's the face. What they should have done is what Gina said. Build her to where she doesn't give a shit about fucking anybody.
Yep.
If you want to boo her, boo her. If you want to cheer her, cheer her. But they aren't doing that. Because when they had her come out and do the whole Edge thing, that was a feeble attempt at getting her to turn heel.
That was their desperate plea of, please, boo her, please.
And that's why I think they're going to take the title off of her. And not because the feud itself is not working. The WWE is not getting what they want out of what's going on.
Yep.
Does that make sense to everybody? And I've said this numerous times. So I'm going with Charlotte because Becky does have that cracked jaw. They're going to give her time to heal up. And they're going to have... Because they're not doing... Survivor Series, from what I'm hearing, is not going to be champion versus champion. It's just going to... They're going to build the show like a normal pay-per-view. Like a WrestleMania or a Royal Rumble like type pay-per-view.
And welcome back, Ronnie.
Thank you. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
We're going to go back. What do you... Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's title. Who are you picking?
I'm going with Kairi on that. I think she's going to go 3 for 3 on her.
Okay. Sounds good.
Now we're up to the SmackDown Women's Championship.
SmackDown Women's Champ title. And it's a last woman standing match.
Right. This with just the situation with Becky and her jaw, I just have a feeling they're going to flip it on to Charlotte till she heals up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I really wish that they would do?
What's that?
I wish that because Charlotte's so much better when she's a heel. So I wish that they would flip Charlotte heel and then let Becky take that time off that she needs. But then when Becky comes back, have her be that Stone Cold type character that she is now, but have her and Charlotte like mend their friendship, because then they would be like a heel little group and they could dominate the entire roster if they would do it that way. And if you think about it, if Becky and Charlotte get back together, what better way to have Becky booed than if she comes out with a heel Charlotte?
See, but that could also
building. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Go ahead, Ronnie.
If they're going to start building towards that 4 horsewomen too.
Yeah, they can't.
No.
They do that. Because I think the MMA 4 horsewomen are going to be the heels in the way, because Shayna Baszler can't do anything but heel work. There's no way she could be a face. Jessamine Duke and Marina Schiffner are acting heelish. Ronda Rousey, I think you just tell her what she needs to do and she can do it.
Just just be a bitch. Just do that.
Well, she has the glare for it, that's for sure.
Whoops. Just for SmackDown, I mean, you figure if they bring up Shayna, and then you have Charlotte, and then Becky with, I know they say she's not a heel, and then you have Sonya Deville. I mean, that could be the start of like a heel faction.
Yeah. But then, yeah. Hopefully Jessamine Duke and Marina Schiffner can hurry it up and develop. That's the issue.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand them taking the time with Marina Schiffner because she broke her wrist. There's only so much you can do with a broken wrist.
Plus, she had a baby not too long ago, too.
Right. So I understand them taking the time with her. I don't know why they kept Jessamine Duke back.
I don't know. But I'm going with Becky Lynch. There's going to be something that's going to happen where Becky Lynch is going to lose to Charlotte.
Now, the question I posed to everybody here while you were out there, Ronnie, was with her losing the title because of her injury, after she is done healing, when she comes back, do you see them ever putting the title back on her?
Honestly, I don't think they will. I think they've given her title run, and it's worked to some degree in the beginning, but now I don't believe that she could maintain a run with it.
Her run's failing.
Because just as I've seen many other people as well post this, I mean, just like when she was a face, her run is becoming stale because she's only going against one person.
Mm-hmm. That's that too.
Right. And she hasn't had the belt for very long. It's already becoming stale and boring, even with her as a heel.
I mean, and then even our picks for Asuka, I mean, to have Asuka go up against her, I mean, it might be a decent feud, but then it's kind of like babyface versus babyface because everybody's going to be cheering for Becky, everybody's going to be cheering for Asuka.
Right.
Well, you could turn Asuka heel.
That'd be the perfect way to do it.
You could turn Asuka heel right then and there, because people will turn on Asuka quicker than they'll turn on Becky.
Because they can't understand her.
For what reason, I don't know, but
they can't understand her.
Can't understand fucking Becky either. I can't.
You can understand Becky a lot easier than you can understand Asuka, especially when she gets excited.
Well, that's true.
You know what? The reason why I believe so strongly that, I know that this is a little off topic, but Japanese wrestlers, the reason why I believe so strongly that Io is going to win is simply because she can actually speak English.
Yes. She can. And Kairi Sane, her English is
improving.
Okay.
It's improving.
It's improving.
And that's why Asuka wasn't getting the push she was, because she hasn't improved on her English.
But if you think about it, if Io wins, it makes total sense because they know that fans want that Japanese style. So if Io wins, then they can bring her directly up to the main roster because Io's she has plenty of experience.
Oh, absolutely.
And then, let's say put her on Raw because Asuka obviously is on SmackDown. Then you have not only the Japanese style, but you have somebody that can actually speak the English language well.
Right, and I think the reason why, I mean, you could argue to bring up Kairi Sane and Io Shirai without even going to NXT, but they're just trying to teach them the WWE way.
Right.
Because Asuka honestly did not even need to be in NXT. They could have just signed her and put her on the main roster. But I understand why they didn't do that and why they won't do that, so that they can ensure that they understand the WWE way, where the hard camera is. You know what I'm the hard camera is, so that it's just one of those things that they want to ensure that they know, and then boom, they'll go right to the main roster.
Well, wasn't it Triple H's? Asuka was Triple H's pet project down in NXT.
But it was he wanted to build his women's division around her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She was still down on the NXT roster. He fought to keep her down on the NXT roster. He didn't want her to go up to NXT, but she ended up getting hurt legit, and it's like, okay, now's the time, you got to do it.
Yep.
Because they had Kairi Sane, but they
So you don't think they would bring up Io Shirai and put her possibly on SmackDown and then have Asuka and her tag team together?
Not right away, no.
Even if they went toe to toe, could you imagine a match between those two?
Oh my God!
And I will say this: as soon as Io Shirai understands it, because she's got the wrestling part down.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as understands where she needs to be,
gets her cues
down, which won't take her very long. It shouldn't. She's going to be called up to the main roster. Then I could see her and Asuka, because they were a faction together.
Mm-hmm.
But Io Shirai's sister ended up having to retire because she had something wrong with her neck or something like that. And she's younger than Io Shirai.
Mm-hmm.
And she was better than Io Shirai. So that's telling you. So she had to retire. So I could see it. In fact, I could see them calling up Kairi Sane at the same time. And Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Io Shirai, they have a faction. And I don't know how. I've never heard Io Shirai speak. So I don't know how great her English is.
It's really well.
They could have her as the mouthpiece of the faction. There you go. I could see that in the future.
But back to the SmackDown Women's Championship here, Bob. Who's your pick
for the women's title, for SmackDown Women's title? I'm going Charlotte.
Okay. Now, do you think that once Becky is healed up, she'll ever get the title back?
No.
I don't either. I think that I agree with Ronnie. I just.
And Trek, what about you?
Much as I'd love to see Becky keep it, it's going to be Charlotte because she's already injured and they want to give her time off. If they were to fight again, it won't be till I'd say Survivor Series, but I could see them holding off until Royal Rumble.
How about they hold off and never have the fucking match again? I'm sick and tired of the feud.
I know, but you know them. They'll milk that till the end of time.
Really?
It'll probably end up going into WrestleMania.
No, I doubt that's what happens.
I could see that.
I think they're gonna probably, if anything, if Becky doesn't take the time off and she does retain, I think Asuka's gonna beat her at Survivor Series. I think they're gonna move on to Asuka. Because that's my prediction is Asuka's gonna win that Battle Royal, and she's going to take on Becky Lynch at Survivor Series. But I've also heard rumors that Charlotte and Asuka are wrestling at Survivor Series. That's why I think they're going to take the title off of Charlotte.
Well, and the thing is, not having champion versus champion, that's another reason why I'm pretty sure that they're getting rid of the brand split.
Right, and I agree.
Yeah.
And
So.
The next match.
And I'm also going to predict this. I'm going to say that the Becky Lynch-Charlotte match is going to be the match of the night, not Io Shirai and Toni Storm like everybody thinks. Go ahead.
For somebody who was preaching all week, I'm not going to say a word unless you ask.
I was thinking that too.
Sorry. Asshole.
The next match on the card, which I believe is the main event, and that is the Raw Women's title, Ronda Rousey versus Nikki Bella.
Your favorite match, Ronnie?
Yeah, I was going to start with you.
Yeah, and you know I'm going for Nikki, yeah. No, I'm going with Ronda. I've seen enough of Nikki.
I think we're probably all in agreement there.
If you follow them on Instagram, I think we've all seen enough of Nikki, especially with her morning pictures of her not wearing a bra and a see-through shirt. Thanks for that, Nikki.
By the way, she looks like god awful without her makeup. Like, she looks plastic as fuck with her makeup on, but she's not without it.
Without the makeup, she looks older than me.
Yeah, I'm like, girl, please get out of here. Like, if I had a makeup artist, I could look like that too.
We should. Anyway.
You said she looks older than me.
Yeah, as in she looks like she's in her 40s.
Oh.
She does.
Without the makeup, she's just dark circles and crow's feet. It's just like, and if you've seen her without wearing the leg makeup and the pantyhose, her legs are trash too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, honey, what the hell did you do to yourself?
Yeah, honestly, the only way I see anything happening with Nikki on this is if Bree somehow interferes. And
magic.
ends up being a disqualification at some point, and then the feud continues.
You know what? Somebody brought up twin magic, and I'm like, they don't even look alike anymore.
They really don't. I swear to God, I think Nikki sat there and had worked on her face and had her cheekbones changed.
Yeah, and not only that, but Nikki's like way more jacked than Bree. Like, Bree's tiny.
Yep.
You know, so I mean, I'm pretty sure Nikki Bella had an ass implant or something because her butt got bigger. I'm gonna tell you that.
That's for damn sure.
Yeah, that or
And
she's been
Bree's
doing
got that
squats.
wholesome look, like that down look.
Yeah.
Where Nikki's just, unless she's got the makeup on and dialed up to the nines. I mean, I don't think she actually holds it. I mean, Bree, to me, I think is the better looking one out of the two, but.
Absolutely.
Well, Bree is the more natural one, that's why.
Yeah.
Nikki is not a toothpick. She's not too small. I mean, she's not.
No, Bree.
Ronda Rousey isn't that big.
Not really.
She's 135, 136 pounds. Nikki Bella is what? Probably close to that? So Nikki Bella's not that much smaller than Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, and Nikki, she's pretty jacked. I will give her that much.
Is.
I mean,
she works
like,
out.
yeah, she's. I don't know. Maybe that's how she got the ass she has. Maybe she just squats like 24 hours a day.
Well, honestly, I think she was when she was training with Cena. That was one of the things, and she's got that build like Dana Brooke, where she's like real thick in the thighs, but it's muscular, and Ronda has that build too.
Yeah,
where it's just that thicker middle area.
Yeah,
you can tell Ronda's been working out too. You can see it. Her arms are almost as big as mine, if not bigger. I'm going with Ronda. I think it's going to be a disqualification, though. And they're going to continue the feud.
God, fucking shoot me.
Well, they're just going to continue the feud through Survivor Series. And then they'll end it there. It's going to take some time before they take... They're going to start building to Charlotte and Ronda Rousey. Because as soon as Asuka takes the title off whoever, because I think she's going to win it somewhere along the line, Charlotte's going to go over to Raw, and then her and Ronda Rousey are going to have a feud.
Yeah.
That's what I see happening.
It could possibly go that way.
Unless Carmella wins it again.
Oh, fucking, oh, God.
Well, then there'll be dance breaks every week.
Fucking Christ, that shit drives me nuts. God.
They don't even put the weight on here anymore.
No, they don't.
Yeah, I think the only one they do that for is Nia anymore. And for me, that just makes no sense when they always announce her and say, and coming in at.
Well, she does that. She said, I don't care. You can, because she's confident in herself. That's why they do that for her. And she doesn't mind it.
No, they don't even have her weight here.
No, they probably don't.
Oh, like, legit, if I had to choose between Nikki Bella or Nia Jax, it's Nia Jax all day long. Like, that girl's beautiful.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Definitely. And again, she's more natural. It's just Nikki Bella's all fucking plastic. So, Bobby, what about you?
Ronda's gonna annihilate Nikki.
I don't think she's gonna. Nikki's gonna get in her shots. Of course, everybody knows that she's gonna get in her shots, but legit.
Ronda gonna beat that pussy worse than John Cena ever did.
Oh my God. It's killing me with these drop-ins. Oh my God.
All right, Nikki Bella is billed at 131.
Ronda Rousey's like 138, I think.
131, my ass. Like, there's no way I weigh more than her.
We shall see. We shall see. 135.
See.
Jesus, I weigh what Ronda Rousey weighs. Like, now I just feel fat because she's all muscle.
Yeah, well, you're good.
Yeah.
Could be worse.
Fuck you, statistics.
Myself.
You're pregnant. You have an excuse. Anywho.
I was going to say, you got to count that Wendy weight in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So that's it. That's the last match.
That is the whole card for Evolution. So, yeah. As predicted, it's probably going to be a shit show.
I think
Go ahead, Gina.
the only thing that is going to save this show is going to be Io Shirai versus Toni Storm and the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Yep. I agree.
That's it.
I agree. I think well, I don't know, the NXT Women's title match would be pretty good. Because they've had two pretty good matches. Not great, but two pretty good matches.
Well, the Battle Royale might be pretty good too. I mean, because even though we know they're coming, it's still always good to see, older wrestlers come back. So, and hopefully they'll have some surprises in there.
Right, and I think they're going to let them. I think they're going to let them go with that Battle Royal, and it's going to last a while. It's not going to be one of those like it was for the Royal Rumble, where it was.
Mm-hmm.
And how long did the Royal Rumble last?
That was like an hour.
Yeah,
they might let them go for just a little under an hour. It might be like a 35, 40-minute match. Because, I mean, you think about it, it's going to be a lot of rest periods and stuff.
Well, And one thing that I have to say is I think we might be underestimating this show a little bit, because considering that this is the first WWE women's pay-per-view, they might let these women go.
Yes, and I agree.
That's what we could hope for.
Right?
Because otherwise it would just be a 3-hour show, and it might as well have just been, okay, might as well just done this for Raw.
So yeah. I'm thinking it starts 5:30 our time.
Yes.
Right? So 6:30 Eastern. And you probably thinking it's probably going to go until 10 maybe. So it's going to be about a 4-hour show. So they might let these women go, or a 3.5-hour show. So they might let these women go. And I hope they do.
I do too, because they deserve this. I mean, to give the women of the past a chance to showcase what they did, along with how far things have advanced with the women that are wrestling today, that actually know what they're doing.
I mean, they call this the women's revolution or evolution or whatever, but they've been worried about what Crown Jewel is doing than what is going on with evolution.
Yeah.
They made this big freaking deal out of it, and they've done nothing with it.
And I think that might be another reason why they might let these women go, simply because they have not gotten the publicity that they deserved.
I can agree.
And it also takes some of the limelight off of the Crown Jewel, which is Friday, just to put the spotlight on them for a bit and get people thinking something else besides where it's being held.
Mm-hmm.
It absolutely could have been.
For the record, I'm sorry, but all of you people out there that are saying, if you're watching Crown Jewel, I'm going to unfollow you on Twitter. Fucking unfollow me then, okay? Seriously, just
I've already lost 20 followers just from my political stance on certain shit. You really think I'm going to be bothered by you?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, are you really going to judge somebody based on the fact that I love wrestling, so of course I'm going to watch the show because I love wrestling. Yes, I agree. It probably should have been moved just because of the controversy, but I'm not going to take that out on the talent.
No, and that's kind of my stance on the whole thing. But my issue with it is with this. They did not address it.
Mm-hmm.
They did not address. We talked about this Wednesday. In fact, we have some. Gina, tell me what your thoughts are. And I know this is Heather's show, but I like getting people's thoughts on what they think about Crown Jewel. You kind of said what you said. You're not gonna not watch it just because
of where it is, right? I mean, because ultimately, no matter what my stance is, first of all, the investigation into what actually happened is still ongoing. And as far as I have heard, the prince and the higher government of Saudi Arabia had nothing to do with this.
Mm-hmm.
So
right.
I don't know. I mean, yes, what happened is messed up, but to completely boycott a show just basically because of where it's being held,
mm-hmm.
If anything, boycott the show from where it's being held because women can't wrestle there. Or there's so many other reasons as to why boycott the show, but it's not the talent's fault, and they deserve the chance to be seen. And to give people an enjoyment out of wrestling no matter where they're wrestling.
I got it. Ronnie, what about you?
My feeling with it is I feel bad for the talent because they're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lose-lose situation for WWE.
Right. They're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't, and they're going as of right now. Everything is still set where they've got it scheduled, and yeah, I mean, they're probably going to have the canceled network trending, and I mean, let them go over, do what they need to do, and just hope and pray that everything goes off without a hitch.
I'm sorry, I was reading the chat and what Aaron said. Yes, exactly. He does look like he found little Jimmy.
But no, that's a good point. Good points. I can't disagree with any point. Like I said, and I've said it. They can't. They're in a lose-lose situation. They're damned if they do, damned if they don't. I just had an issue with them not addressing the situation.
Yeah.
If they would have addressed the situation like they did Wednesday or Thursday morning, I would have been fine with it.
I found Timmy!
God.
I mean, so, I don't know. Is that it? Are we good?
It pretty much. I mean, if people want to really be angry about something, just go back on the network and watch it. WrestleMania 12. Where was that again? On American soil?
Yeah.
There were no women in that.
Yeah.
They didn't have women's wrestling then. That was right. That was the time. That was right about the time that Medusa or Lunder Blaze dropped the title in the trash on WCW, and Vince was afraid to bring back women's wrestling because of that for the longest time. Because he couldn't trust women. It's just the way it was. He didn't want the women to do, whatever.
Yeah.
The only one I know that has pulled out completely is Cena. I mean, I haven't heard of anybody else. Yeah, I haven't heard of anybody else.
Yeah, as far as the rumors goes, Cena is still saying he does not want to go.
Daniel Bryan's going only because he respects AJ.
Right.
Right. I knew he was rumored to be against going as well.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I chime in here for a second on that?
No.
I think a lot of people are realistically being mad about the whole thing for the wrong reason.
Yep.
Like I have stated many times on many streams, the reason why I canceled my subscription and am not watching Crown Jewel and not even watching the product is not because of their going. I could give a shit less that they're going there. I don't like the deal, but the fact is that when this stuff came out, that they did not get in front of this.
And that's where I am with it. But I'm not going to stop watching the product because of that. And that's Johnny's.
It's his own choice.
It's his choice, and justifiably so. I'm not mad at Johnny for not watching, and I get it. I'm in the same boat as Johnny, but I'm in the boat where I have faith in. For some reason, I have faith in WWE and doing the right thing. Now, that being said, Monday was a very good show.
Yes.
With what happened on Monday, and again, to Roman Reigns, please get better, man. Because without you, that show will falter a little bit because now they have to fill gaps upon gaps.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the truth.
Please don't give us Brock Lesnar. Sorry.
Oh no, I think
I've seen those rumors as well, and
I think Braun Strowman's winning.
Yeah, honestly, I watch the UFC reports and stuff like that, and lately, I mean, Dana White has been basically saying Brock is training full-fledged for UFC, and that Cormier match is actually the night after Crown Jewel. So he might not even have the title.
I done fucked up. I sit there didn't get on the mic because I was afraid that there'd be an echo on the stream, and everybody tell me there's not a fucking echo. So I basically set out the whole fucking stream for fucking nothing.
Well, you should have asked the question earlier. Aha.
I was having enjoying just sitting on my ass.
But Raw was really good, and for an unfortunate reason. And again, me and Johnny and Heather and Bob and Trexter talked about this. I think last night we talked about the heel turn that Dean Ambrose had. I had no problem with it. And Gina even chimed in on it. I had no problem with it. What was wrong with it?
And it was a justified heel turn in my opinion.
Yes.
Because, okay, when he first turned on Seth, it was right after that hug. Now, the way that the storyline is building in my head anyway, and the way that I think that they're going to go, is that Seth said something that triggered Dean and made him snap. Because, like, right after he snapped initially, he was acting like he didn't want to do that. Like, he was regretful of it. But then he fully snapped and he started beating Seth. Well, as he's beating him, if you listen to him, he says, like, when he throws the tag titles at Seth, he says, "This is all you care about. This is all you ever wanted." You know, and then
I said in my prediction, we were talking about that, and I said, watch, one of the main motivations for Dean going heel is that he's going to he's going to claim that Seth only cares about the titles. I caught that. Yeah, that.
Well, and the reason why I think that the storyline's gonna say that Seth said something that sparked Dean is right before he dirty deeds him onto the cement floor. Mm-hmm. He said flat out, he kept on saying, say it again. And then he said, you said it, you knew I'd do this. And then he gave him the dirty deeds.
Mm-hmm. So, I didn't catch all that.
Well, I actually had to go back and watch Raw at the end, and I actually full-fledged listened to it, and he says just everything that he is saying. That's where I think they're going with the storyline.
And Ryan, believe it or not, the face turn by Elias was a good turn.
Yeah,
a lot of really neat shit happened that nobody, like me and Johnny, have been saying about Elias. What are they gonna fucking do with Elias? He's now filling one of those gaps that fucking Roman Reigns has left. They're actually going to see what Elias can do. I hope that's what they're doing.
Well, it's really about time, too, because this guy is over as all get out. He is very, very, very over. That gimmick, and this is the thing that I think a lot of people don't give Elias enough credit for. That gimmick that he does is very hard to pull off. That is a very hard gimmick to pull off, and he does it very, very well. So, the fact that this guy has not been pushed yet, I think is criminal. You know, but even just based on what, because I went back and I watched some of the highlights from there, and you know, seeing Braun kind of go back to that babyface mode, you know, believe it or not, I like Braun as a babyface.
I do too.
There's another turn that I forgot.
And not only that, but Braun turning face made sense. Because with Roman being out of the picture, Braun's babyface now, and Brock is obviously heel.
You know, I hate to say, you know, and me and JP even said it. I mean, we're not saying that it's good. Obviously, none of us here would ever say that it's good that Roman Reigns got cancer.
Oh, absolutely,
absolutely not.
I mean, we all feel bad for the guy, and we all wish him a speedy recovery. Because I mean, this shit is no joke. I've done the research on it. The fact that it's come back again, people should be very worried.
Yeah.
And
they said he has a longer and tougher fight this time around.
Right. But people, please don't take this the wrong way when I say this, because I'm not saying it's a good thing that he got cancer. Please don't please don't think I'm thinking that way. But it was kind of a blessing in disguise.
It is.
Yeah.
Because now the rest of the talent has got to step up to the fucking plate.
Yeah.
Because now there isn't one guy that they're going to push. Now they have to find somebody else. Now is the time for the rest of the talent to step up. The show will get. It sucks that it had to be because of Roman. Got to step up to the plate, and the show will get better if that's the case.
Right.
Well, and you know, another reason why the Braun Strowman face turn made so much sense is because the storyline that they had already actually had in progress between Drew McIntyre and Braun Strowman, it was kind of weird that occurred, because they were already setting it up to where Braun and Drew were going to turn on each other, and now it makes so much sense, because if Braun wins the Universal Championship, Drew is going to start a feud with him, and Drew is going to end up being their top guy.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's what we're predicting.
Yeah.
That's what we're predicting. Yep.
And I kind of, you know, when this happened, we thought, okay, where do we go from here? I think what they should do is at Crown Jewel, They put the title on Braun and let him have. Don't give him a short run. Let him have a good. I mean, even you could even go take it to WrestleMania. You know, and start building the feud between him and Drew McIntyre.
It's already there.
It's already there, but I would start. That would be my main focus until WrestleMania. Yep.
No, totally agree. Ronnie, let's get your thoughts. You haven't been saying anything. Why don't you say something?
I always feel like I'm interrupting.
No.
I was thinking along the lines of another way. You know how they were doing with Sasha and Bayley, bouncing them back and forth. I'm thinking that Dean's going to come out and possibly apologize, saying the emotion of the night got the best of him, and he's going to continue the tag team with Seth, and then they could possibly do another heel turn down the road with him, or possibly turn Seth.
I don't think they'd turn. I don't want. But I don't. Go ahead.
To be honest, I don't want to see Seth go heel again. They need to stick with this storyline they have right now and keep Dean heel.
Well, and I'm going to be honest with you. I never liked Seth as a heel. I didn't like it.
Really? I didn't mind it.
I didn't mind it, but there was just some things about his character. It didn't feel genuine to me. Like, does it make sense? Like when he would laugh at F or something like that, it was just. I'm like, you could tell it was a very acting kind of. You could clearly tell a very acted. It didn't come off naturally. Whereas a babyface Seth kind of feels a little bit more natural to him. I don't think he makes as good of a heel as he does a babyface.
Okay.
And that's just that's just personal preference. But what I see happening is he could do that, but then they have a match for the tag belts and they drop them, and then Dean just goes full heel.
Okay. But I mean, I could see the first part of that, Ronnie. I could see that, but then Dean Ambrose legit turning heel on him. I actually kind of like that way of thinking. It kind of makes sense, but I don't know. That's it.
I think if you switch the roles at this point, it makes that moment less significant, because think of how impactful Dean doing what he did Monday night was actually. I mean, they had the whole arena in shock. They had everybody watching in shock. I mean, all of us on the call. I wasn't even watching. I'm like, what the hell? They did it tonight. What the hell? You know.
Yeah.
I mean,
honestly, I'm sorry to interrupt, Johnny, but I haven't seen a heel turn like that possibly since the fucking Montreal Screwjob.
Yeah.
Like a reaction to a heel turn like that.
I said it too. The last time we saw a heel turn this effective was CM Punk's heel turn.
Right.
That was the last time we had a really, like, when it was shocking enough that CM Punk, you know, GTS The Rock. But then when Jerry Lawler had the heart attack and CM Punk went after him, then that really solidified him as the heel. And we haven't seen anything like that since that.
Yeah, I mean, I can see down the line the Dean and Seth feud for the Intercontinental belt, and then of course you'll have Braun and Drew if they go that route. So you're going to have those two main titles then, the focus, and then I'm sure they would do like a tag team tournament if they drop the titles and have to surrender them.
Well, if what I heard in the rumor, and of course it's just a rumor, but If I heard on the rumor mill, I'm not going to be happy if this is going to be the case for a while. They're talking about still being the top people they're going to push is Braun, Drew, Dolph, Dean, and Seth. The same 5 guys we've had since SummerSlam.
Yep. Well, even before SummerSlam.
Even before then. I mean, it's no... I'm guaranteeing you, if they do that, it's going to be no different. Yeah, and that's the one thing that I worry about and people falling for is that they think that now this is going to be different. And I'm telling you, if they go with this, it's not going to be. It's not going to be any different.
But how...
I'm sorry, Heather, go ahead.
However, with them changing up Elias and making him a face now, they might push him as well and start getting some new storylines out there involving him and a few others.
It depends on what they do with Elias. It
Right.
really is going to hinge on what they do with Elias.
Now, my question would be, what do you guys think if they go with what the majority are saying on here, okay, and it ends up being Drew versus Braun going for the Universal Championship? What do you think they're going to do with Dolph? Is he going to fall back into the wayside? Or is his contract coming up?
It wouldn't surprise me if he fell into the wayside again because that's been the kind of MO that they've done with Dolph. It's sad to say, but that's just what they do with Dolph. I hate that, and I agree with you. I don't think it should. If anything, I think he should be the one to take the Intercontinental title off of Seth, and then you can have Dolph feud. This is what I would do. I would have Dolph face Seth for the Intercontinental Championship. Seth loses that title. Puts it on Dolph. Here's how you push Elias. You have Elias go after the IC title and take it off Dolph.
What do you do with Dean, though, then?
That would make a lot of sense in the long run, though, because Dean and Seth are going to have a rivalry for a while.
He's going to have... The deal with Dean is he's going to be in a feud with Seth.
Okay.
That alone is going to be money by itself. You don't have to have a title to tell that story.
Okay. But that's, well, I hate to say this, but that's a story they're going to tell right now.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I'm talking ideally. This is what this is a scenario that I would go with.
The way that they could work that to where it would actually work out is if Dean and Seth start this rivalry. Okay, first of all, they're going to have to lose the tag titles, but they start this rivalry, and then Seth gets put into an Intercontinental match with Dolph, where Dean comes out and ends up costing Seth the title.
Yep.
And then they could continue with the Dean and Seth angle, and then start the Elias versus Dolph angle.
Right.
And then you could say the payoff is that after when Drew takes the belt off of Braun, then you could have a number 1 contenders match between Seth and Dean.
We should write for WWE.
But then you got 2 other players too.
You know what? I can fix that right now. You know that, right? There you go. Bye-bye.
2 other players in the ball game. I mean, you take, like Sarah Small said in the chat, turn Bobby Roode heel, and you've got someone else that can play into that. And then you've also got Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
And how they decide to use him. Because now it looks like they're turning him into a heel.
Bobby Roode, I honestly believe that they are going to turn heel soon because they're kind of setting it up with the storyline with Chad Gable.
That to get annoyed with him.
Yes, you can see that the annoyance that is starting to come. So I think they're going to turn Bobby heel and have him go against Chad Gable, which should actually prove for some pretty good matches.
Absolutely.
Oh, of course.
But you don't want to see it week after week after week.
I I think and Roman, it's going to be a snowball effect. And I hate to say that again, like Johnny said, it sucks that this had to happen this way, but you're going to see a snowball effect where they're not, like I said, they're not going to be able to push just one person. And it's going to be, we got to find somebody. Let these guys do their thing. That's what I see. I could be wrong, though. But I agree with you. They can't continue to do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. That's annoying to me.
Very annoying.
The only thing that I'm, at this point, and it's very odd for this to be coming out of my mouth, but I think Raw is fine. It's turning out, could very well potentially be okay.
And I think, SmackDown will be okay. It's just, I don't think they were going to be able to recover, or be able to beat Raw after what happened Monday.
Well,
Monday.
There is one scenario that we're looking at. You and I have been looking at this for a while.
Yep.
And if they do what I think they might do at Crown Jewel, I'm going to be one pissed off son of a bitch.
I agree. I'm in the same sentiment, and that sentiment is, and I know people don't want to fucking see it, but hey, it's how you gonna? They're going to give John Cena his 17th title. I could see it written on the wall. It's there. It's an easy story to write. Have Randy Orton beat AJ Styles at Royal Rumble?
Mm-hmm. Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Because by then he will have beaten AJ Styles. Will have beaten
CM Punk's title reign.
Take the title off of AJ Styles, put it on Randy Orton. John Cena either wins the Royal Rumble, which I don't see happening, or wins the Elimination Chamber match. Gets his title shot at WrestleMania against Randy Orton, because they're always touting that John Cena needs his WrestleMania moment. There it is. Wins his 17th title at WrestleMania. However, don't get excited, everybody. It's not going to be a 6-month reign. It's going to be one of those short reigns just to get him his 17th title. Probably take the title off of him at Money in the Bank.
Well, here's why you don't take the title off of AJ and put it on Bryan. Because if that's the case, if they do that, AJ should have lost the title months ago.
Yes, he should have lost to Samoa Joe.
He should have lost to Samoa Joe in that regard. I'm sorry. Daniel Bryan is, at this point, I loved him in the WrestleMania 30 angle. Daniel Bryan is an overrated wrestler. Right now, yes. Totally agree. He is overrated. He's not as good as people think he is. No. Okay? He doesn't look the... Yeah, I mean, he doesn't... And I'm going to back Johnny on that. He doesn't look like he did in WrestleMania 30. It just... And if they do that, this whole storyline is just a rehash of that storyline. And I don't want to fucking see it. Yeah. I'm sorry.
And the fact is, he was only out 3 years. Shawn Michaels has been out 8 years. I don't think that's going to be a well played out match either.
Nope. No, yeah, definitely. It really, it's a match that should not be happening.
No. I agree.
But I think we have discussed everything there is to discuss this evening.
Right?
We've definitely hit a lot of different topics. Even just going over the predictions here, we hit a lot of different topics.
It was a great discussion.
Absolutely. Which is what we love to see for our shows. So thank you, Gina and Ronnie, our special guests, for coming on tonight.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yes, and we will see them again on Sunday when the Evolution pay-per-view kicks off again at 5:30, 6:30 Central.
6:30, 5:30 Central.
Whatever.
Let's get the shit right.
With that being said, we are going to end the show here for this evening, and I hope you all enjoyed it. We hope to see you on Sunday. And don't forget, Johnny here will be streaming tomorrow, possibly later on this evening.
Actually, I'm going to take about maybe a 30-minute break, and I'm going to go live. And hopefully these guys will have their stuff good and going again, and by Sunday. Otherwise, do not worry, guys. If they can't get their stuff back up by Sunday, we'll be this is basically the backup plan.
Yep. So definitely go check him out on his Twitch stream, which is going to be a strive for a 24-hour stream all the way to Saturday night. Am I correct?
No, we're not doing it this weekend. No. We're gonna go for a while tonight. Well, the reason being is that if that's the case, if I go 24 hours, I'll sleep all day Sunday. And so if I need to be, if I need to be here, I don't want to be caught where y'all are like, wake up, bastard, wake up, So we're going to go for a while tonight. We're going to do the 12-hour stream on Saturday. And then we'll stream all the way up. And then Sunday we'll stream for a while up until about the time Evolution is about to hit. We'll end the stream there. And then maybe next weekend we'll try the 24-hour stream.
With that
4-hour stream, I would die.
I almost died from the 12-hour one. Ronnie could tell you, I was sitting like,
I can't believe it, because like sitting in one place for that long of a time is exhausting in itself.
Basement.
Fucking basement.
12-hour stream.
With his bear costume on.
And the keyboard, can't forget the keyboard. That was a huge fact. That was a huge player in that night.
2-hour loop of just the keyboard at the end.
Not gonna lie, like I missed that stream that night, and I remember I logged on the next morning because I seen he was still live, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I log on and I see just a keyboard, and I'm like, oh my god, did he die?
There was one where I went to bed. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna miss half of it. I wake up the next morning. He's just sitting there slumped over in his bear costume, just going,
Trek, you're not allowed to talk no more.
Oh my god.
You're not supposed to be talking either.
You can shut your fucking pie hole, you son of a bitch. I will fucking end you.
Okay, let me clarify something. This is not the Evolution pay-per-view, so we ain't banned yet, Trek.
So buy yourself
maybe if you would show up on time, motherfucker, maybe you would understand what's going on, you son of a bitch.
Oh my goodness.
With that being said, Gina, would you like to give a little shout out for your channel there?
You can check me out over on the Gina J channel. I do motivational videos. Got some stuff planned, and I'm also going to possibly be talking about wrestling again, but we'll see.
Fair enough. Trek, how about you?
Nobody cares.
So mean.
He's just on Facebook. Nobody gives a damn. Next. No.
JP's campaigning for Asshole of the Year 2019.
This guy.
Okay, guys, you gotta remember, a pregnant woman here. I have to pee.
Go to the fucking bathroom.
Trying to end the show here, motherfucker.
Watch who you call him motherfucker. You can sleep on the couch.
Well, technically, he is a motherfucker, or he will be.
Animal motherfucker.
Oh, come on.
Ronnie, how about you?
You can pretty much catch me in all the chats. No, I help out you guys on the Cold Bone Show here on the
my channel now.
Yeah, I was gonna say Johnny Ray just went ahead and put me on Twitch as a mod for his, so I can talk with Bijou. And then of course on your Tattooed Mistress as well, and then just around the
Guys,
community. I mean,
I hate to interrupt, but look at this shit. You'll see it on camera here in a minute. Look how Bijou is sleeping. I just looked over and she's all sprawled out.
She's so ladylike.
So ladylike. I mean, she's past. I just looked over and I was just like, what the hell?
And lastly, and certainly not least, the creator of the thumbnail for this evening, Mr. Bobbitt. Would you like to give yourself a shout out?
Bobbitt's been mute for a while.
Yeah.
He's playing Red Dead Redemption.
You know where to find him. He's here. He's on my channel.
Behind the
reels, all that good stuff. And don't forget to check everybody out on Sunday. It's just going to be Gina, Heather, and Ronnie. I promise, if I say anything, I will let Heather slap the fucking ever-loving shit out of me.
Oh,
Unless
this
she
could
asks me a
be
question.
Super
For
interesting.
once, JP will have to keep his mouth shut. I don't think he can do it. I think I'm going to place bets on see if he can keep his mouth shut.
The fun part's going to be is he's going to be watching the Packer game on my phone through the Red Zone network.
Until the game will be over I'll be watching both. But.
So you may be hearing him screaming about football in the background. We're trying to talk wrestling.
Nice.
I will go into my room if that's.
I'm just gonna purposely start saying shit that I know that's gonna piss JP off, just to try to get him to say something so you can slap him.
That's fucked up. You'll also catch us on Derail Saturday night. All of us, pretty much all of us, except for Johnny and Ronnie never been on there, but
I'm in the chats.
She'll be in the chats. So that's pretty much it. I'm cooking food.
He is. And with that being said, y'all have a great night. We shall see you Sunday.
You can end the show, Johnny.
I'm in the show, damn it! Shut up! We're trying to be quiet here so we can end the stream. Bye, everybody. Thank you guys for coming.